Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about Lesson 50, Estimating Arithmetic Answers. Now when we estimate, the purpose of estimating is to make it easier to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So therefore, we are going to estimate the numbers, the addends, or the numbers we multiply together in order to make doing the math in our head easier. We do not estimate the answer. So let's go ahead and look at example 1. Estimate the product of 29 and 19. So I'm going to write the original problem, 29 and 19. Product means to multiply. So here is my original answer, or my original problem, excuse me. Now I'm going to estimate. 29 rounds up to 30. 19 rounds up to 20. And now I'm going to multiply. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. Bring down the 0. So my estimate then is 600. But then if I go back to the question, it says, is the estimate greater than or less than the actual product? And how do you know? My estimate of 600 is going to be greater. And I know that because I rounded both numbers up. And because I'm rounding up, my product is inherently going to be bigger. If I had rounded down, then my estimate would be less than the actual product. Okay? So my estimate is 600. My estimate is greater than the actual product because I rounded up. Okay? So note, I do not have an actual product here. I am not solving to find an actual product. I'm estimating, then multiplying, and then answering the rest of the question. Okay, let's look at example 2. Estimate the sum of $8.95, $7.23, $11.42, and $6.89 by rounding to the nearest dollar. So first I'm going to write my original problem. $8.95, $7.23, $11.42, and $6.89. Okay? Notice that all of my decimals are lined up in a row. My pennies or my hundredths place, my dimes or my tenths place. Okay, they're all lined up. Sum, it tells me to add. Okay, it says to estimate the sum. So now that I've written my original problem, now I'm going to estimate. And I'm going to estimate to the nearest dollar, which means I'm going to look at the number in the tenths place. If it's 5 or greater, we round up. If it's 4 or less, we round down. So $8.95 is going to round up to $9. $7.23 is going to round down to $7. Okay, this 2 tells me to round down. $11.42, this 4 tells me to round down to $11. And $6.89, this 8 tells me to round up to $7. So now I can add, okay, 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 14 is 34. 24, excuse me. 2, 2, 3. So my estimate is $34. Again, notice I do not have an actual sum here. I don't want to see one. I only want to see the original problem. I want to see the estimate for each one, and then your estimated answer. Okay, let's look at example 3. Oh, there it is. Okay, estimate the perimeter of this rectangle by first rounding its length and width to the nearest 10 millimeters. So perimeter we know means all the way around. Okay, so we have 78, which we're going to round to 80, and we have 31, which we're going to round to 30. And now I have a couple of options. Okay, I can add these together and multiply by 2. I can multiply by 2 and add them together, or I can just double them and add 4 numbers together, because I add 2 80s and 2 30s, one for the top and bottom, one for the right and left side. So I'm going to multiply first. 80 times 2 equals 160. 30 times 2 equals 60. And I add it up, and we get a perimeter of about 220 millimeters. All right, okay, example 4. A typical male walrus can weigh 1,760 pounds. A typical male seal can weigh 375 pounds. About how much more does the walrus weigh? Well, we're going to use some compatible numbers, okay? So I can round this in a few different ways. I'm going to show you one option. I'm going to start by writing the original problem. Okay, and since I'm finding about how much more, I'm going to subtract. So I see that I have 375 here. Well, I know that 75 minus 75 is 0. It's really easy to do in my head. So one option is to round 1760 to 1775 and use that as a compatible number and leave the 375 alone, because then I get 0. I get about 1,400 pounds. Okay. Another option is to round 1760 to 1,800. Whoa, let me try that again. If I wanted to round both numbers, I could round 1760 to 1,800, round 375 to 400, subtract, and I still have about 1,400 pounds. Okay, either way is correct. It's up to you. You just have to be able to tell me why you chose to round one way as opposed to another. Okay? All right, that's it. Off to your lesson practice. Please make sure that you are showing me all of your work. Okay? So you need to write original problem, then estimate, and then solve your estimate. Okay? All right, that's it. I'll see you in the morning.